Hello guys, today we'll be looking at the Nine of Swords, the Rider-Waite Tarot. And I chose this deck because I think collectively we all can relate to it. We can relate to this state of mind, we can relate to this fear that we all have inside of us and sometimes we don't confront. So this appears to us in the spread. Sometimes it comes back and back and back. And I think it's the invitation for us to look at our fears deeply and receive the messages that we can receive there. Um, if you look at these cards, what you will see in it, you will see worry, deep anxiety, punishing as well yourself, feeling guilty, um, repeating certain pattern over and over and over in your mind, and this negative pattern that doesn't allow you to look at things positively, doesn't allow you to see the reality as well, because fears is like a gap, doesn't really allow us to see what's going on outside. So in this state of mind, we are actually only anticipating the worst case scenario. That's the negative part of it. I want to also talk about its positive part. I want to talk about its positive aspect because that's what really helped me in my life. I want to talk, of course, about my experience with it in a practical way and how I dealt with my own fears, how I still actually dealing with my own subconscious and the mystery that is going on in it. If you look at this card, you will see that this guy is having a nightmare, waking up at night and feeling this deep depression, this deep failure. Um, that's what the pattern I'm talking about, that he is reprogramming his mind in a way that rehashing. So putting old ideas, putting old patterns into new forms without significant change. So there is no change in it, there is no improvement. So it's just about repetition. This is the way that the subconscious mind understand through repetition. What are you repeating to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? Fears can actually throw us back to places that we don't need, to territories that we are afraid, can throw us back as well to patterns that we really don't need, events that also we are connected to it emotionally. We get its emotion to the present moment and we perceive it as it is since it happened till now. So actually that brings us anxiety. We don't need nightmares born from these events and trauma we didn't process and we didn't accept yet. That's why I always connect all dark cards to the shadow aspect or the shadow self of us. Small thing I just want to add now, that this video, it might not be for everybody, because some people, they have their own way with dealing with these issues. I want to only say that I respect it, but I don't believe in it. So that's simple. If you don't resonate with my videos, with what I'm saying, just don't look. Don't watch it. Find your own ways, and I will be happy for you to break free from your own fears. And I'm saying this because I'm having some messages from people who think they have the map of living, the absolute map, without searching, without practicing shit. Just they got indoctrinated by old thoughts, religious thoughts, can be traditional culture, whatever you want to call it. It's about something pretty collective. People believe in it as an authority and they start to use it in their life in hope that it's gonna help them. So I don't want to attack anyone, the only thing I can say that if you are not taking responsibility for yourself to look deep inside of you, especially the dark side of you, you cannot deal with people clearly, even with yourself, because you're not seeing the reality. You're really seeing delusions, and according to these delusions, you are dealing with others. It's better the more we are digging deep inside of us, inside our mind, to know what's going on in this shadow aspect, the more we are finding keys for better life. And that's the theme of, I think, each video I talk about. And that's why I'm as well attracted to the dark side of tarot, because it's invitation for us to fix, and I use it as self-empowerment, reflection, to take us further to a better consciousness. So the subconscious programming, by rehashing, as I said, repetition, about these thoughts, repetition of thoughts and patterns, that we are not free from it anymore, because this is what's familiar for us. So when we meditate, or we are in a more in connection with the depth of us, we can actually here be familiar with something else, or make ourselves familiar with other thing. Here you can reprogram your own mind by replacing these thoughts, negative thoughts, with good thoughts, positive thoughts, thoughts that you know that you're comfortable with, and that really help you, not with deception, but really help you. Because here with meditation, when you free your mind from these patterns, you can see what the possibilities as well for you for later. So remember that your mind can be an obstacle sometimes to reach your joy and feel the gratitude and abundance that presented always around us. It's basically always around us, the abundance, the beauty, the gratitude as well, but it's all here. So it's basically a portal you open up inside your mind, so you can see the reality differently. You can see this abundance and things that make you having more gratitude in your life, make you feel grateful, I mean, and make you able to feel this happiness around you, in people's eyes as well, because the world is just a reflection. And here this guy has having a nightmare, as we said, because fear threw him to places that he didn't accept yet, or he didn't process, he didn't work on. And that's what the shadow work comes. The shadow work comes to look back at your past, or your psychological history somehow, and confront what is going on there, to write about it, meditate on it, and let it emerge up to the surface. Then you can pick it and know what the hell is going on with you. Then you can switch your perception and see it from a different perspective, because what happened in the past happened in the past. What we can do is learning from it, because the present moment is actually the knowledge of now. What we learn, what we have from the past, all we want to learn from what happened, or we have the choice also to hold the emotions of that event to the very moment now, and suffer as what's going on with this guy in here. So every time we have feelings, bad feelings, or patterns we know that we are in, we should also take responsibility that we are repeating this to ourselves. I have some questions about this card, or let's say that it's always good to ask ourselves these questions when we have this card, when we see it on the spread, or even if we don't do tarot in general. I want to as always talk to everyone, because tarot is in our mind, and it's not necessary to read tarot so you can know what's going on. I'm talking about this human experience that most of us can have. What is the thing that can deprive you from joy? What patterns of thoughts are you attaching yourself to? Which victimizing beliefs are you holding on and defending yourself with? Because it's easy sometimes to defend ourselves by our trauma. Sometimes we're so attached to our own pain, our trauma, so we can, our ego, not we, but mostly our ego can defend itself by it, because we want to justify his laziness, want to justify the lack of taking responsibility as well, because that's scary, right? It's scary to take responsibility and really look at your fears and write about them, dig deep in it, and see the cause of it. So when you do see the cause of it, you can fix it. Why? Because you created it. If you see it externally, if you see it that it happened outside of you, so forgive. I will say forgive people that you met, friends, forgive family members that hurt you, and especially forgive yourself. Forgive yourself because you deserve it. You deserve love. Focus on the love. Focus on the heart chakra. Basically, just love to make it easier access. Focus on love. Focus on the patterns that you are repeating as well. I mean, you can change this pattern to something positive by repeating it as well. So here comes something is very important to me, called the inner conversation with ourselves, because I believe the quality of the words we say to ourselves determine the level of delightfulness we have been created and integrated to our reality. So what are you telling yourself? What words are you using as well to yourself? What words are you repeating every day? Is it bad ones? So it's good to be aware of, so you can change it, because if it's bad, it will take you to dark places, and the darker you will go, you will dig deeper and deeper and deeper. There is only good to receive messages and get back, but not stuck in the mud. That's the risk of getting back to the past, especially to the pain of the past. Sometimes we stuck, it's muddy place, we could stuck there. But love can always help us, really help us to get back to our relaxed state of being, where we can change this pattern to something better by repeating it every day and visualizing the best scenario, not the worst case scenario, not the worst scenario that will happen to us every time we are visualizing our future or the very present moment. And the very present moment is actually the most significant thing that is happening with us now, because it's the only real moment, is the only real knowledge as well we get it in this moment, more than what we get from the past. The past can give us messages about ourselves to fix. Mostly I feel that the knowledge that we get it now, so don't keep this distract you from seeing the reality of the knowledge that you receive at this moment, by not seeing it from the fear perspective, but open heart, and really integrate it into your life. So I think when you see it, it will be time to give time to yourself and set an intention to see the reality through the illusion of your mind, and free yourself from this negative self-conversation by accepting it. In order to overcome it, by recognizing it, you will receive valuable messages that will change your life forever. That's something I wrote down because I want to also remind myself with, and why and how it helped me. Um, I remember the period I was, the first period I came to Amsterdam. I was in Syria before, and in Syria I had a lot of situation that was close to death, and I didn't process it when I came here. So I start seeing nightmares every day. I start looking outside and seeing the beautiful sunny weather and the beautiful forests are burning. Actually is because of what I created in my mind and what I didn't process in my mind. I start having dreams, which is nightmares, not dreams, about me stopping in checkpoints, and they check what I have. Sometimes they kill me, sometimes they take me away. Because this happened many times in the reality with me the last 3 years in Syria. Um, Bombs, and that something I had to push away at that moment because I had to survive, and because I wanted to survive, I really didn't want to focus on each shit I was seeing in front of me. So I had to push this away and focus on what I'm going to do for the next step, so I can survive my life. Take a sip of tea because I feel like I'm talking a lot. Today I'm talking a lot. This is the first video I feel like I'm really talking, not only from my mind, but me as measured. So that's extra step for me. So basically, by visualizing my future, when I just stepped out of Syria and I started to visualize my future, I only saw darkness. I only saw the world is burning every minute. Nothing is gonna get all right. Nothing gonna be better. I'm not seeing my family for a long time. I lost my friends and blah blah blah. All this are sentences I kept on repeating and repeating and repeating till I created a very shitty reality. I really created hell for myself. That's what happened to me every day. I spent this in this state of mind for a really long time. And that's why I'm saying that self-reflection helps a lot to receive these messages, confronting these fears. Look at it back and see what you created out of it in the past. I had the choice to stay there. I had the choice to stay in these events with its emotions that I got it with me till this moment and live in it, be there. But this was not my choice, because the healthy choice is to go forward in your life. The important thing is what is going on with you now, not what happened before. So I cannot create my future according to what happened in the past, because the past that I created in my mind is shitty. So my future gonna be also shitty. This is how we are bringing the past to the future, but not this, neither that is actually exists at this moment. This moment only is exist, and in this moment I'm creating later what I'm gonna see later. So working now, not working for later. Working at this moment, you can see it in the future. You can see the result of it on the future. It's about, again, the quality of your thoughts, the quality of the talk you have with yourself, the quality of the conversation we have with ourselves. What words are we picking? Because words are also portal. Each word we say, it opened up a portal in our mind, and it triggered something. It triggered, maybe it brings certain emotions that we don't like. Choose your words, write them down. Every time you meditate, repeating them, it'll become, it's like you're massaging your subconscious to a new dimension, a new reality, new life that you choose. It's not indoctrinated by society or whoever, I don't know, past a lot of shit can indoctrinate our mind to a reality that we don't choose. Mostly it's painful, you know. When you take your individual path, you can really find out um, what you really want only. So believe in love, believe always in love. Simply love yourself because you always deserve it. Always repeat this to yourself. I love myself because I deserve it. If you look at YouTube, just write down self-love. There are a whole lot of very amazing, beautiful people who are practicing that. I'm giving tips for you, giving tips for free tips for all people in the world, to love yourself, because this is something also we didn't learn. This is something, me as an example, I didn't learn this in my life, to love myself, to forgive myself, and um, yeah, um, yeah, basically just accept myself, you know. So what else to talk? What else to talk about? Always remember that. Punishing yourself and beating yourself, bringing all the emotions to the present life. I know I said this, but I want to remind you again that by punishing yourself every single day, you are really creating a darker reality. You are really creating a darker dimension that you are living in. And the proof that there is all this happening in your mind, that when you change that patterns to a positive one by repeating it every day, the reality outside will change. And I hope you the best in your life. And if you want to help me, subscribe and receive my new videos. I will try to work more on it, and hope you a wonderful year this year, everybody. Thanks.